Now that we have a file with all the passes and all the masks and the right organization, we need to learn a very basic process, a workflow that will makes everything easier, okay? And this is what I call the three-step process, the three-step workflow. So let's make an example. Let's say that you want to work on the concrete wall on the left here. Well, there's three steps you need to follow in order to work on it in the proper way and in a well organized way, I would say. First first step, you need to understand which one of the master folders is the right one to work within. And in this case, because the concrete wall is part of the rendering itself and we want to change it, the folder we need to work in is the adjustment folder. Okay? So the first step is to find the right folder you need to work with. And this is the adjustment for this case. And so you open this folder and you make a new subfolder under it, okay? Doesn't matter if the folder, the new group is going to be on top of it. You take it, you drag and drop it, and you put it inside there. And then once the folder is there, you name it in a nice way, in a proper way for everybody to understand. So this will be concrete wall on the left. Okay? So this is the first step. You look for the right main folder, you create a subfolder, and you rename it. Second step. The second step is you need to look for the mask of that object. So in this case, because this is part of the render, you open the mask folder, you make it visible, okay? You open it, and you search for the right mask, which in this case is this one, okay? So you keep that one visible, and remember you need the black layer at the bottom, visible, and then you go to the channels, and then you know which channel you need to select because it's the green one, so you control click on the green thumbnail to get the selection. Now, once you have the perfect selection you want, you go back to the layers, you hide the mask group, you don't need it anymore. You go back to the concrete wall left folder and you apply the mask to the folder itself. Okay, this is the second step. So in this case, in this way, what you're doing is you are preventing any error, any possible mistake, because now if we work inside this folder, if we do everything, if we do, we paint, it's adjustment, doesn't matter what you do, everything will be visible only on top of the concrete wall. So let's say you want to make some adjustment. So this is point number 3. You add some curves and you work on the curves, you see, and you do what you want. Now I'm contrasting, you shouldn't contrasting at the beginning, is just an example, okay? And this way of working allow you to have a second mask, okay? A second mask. And it's very important because sometimes you don't want these adjustment or an effect on the entire area. So what you do, the third point is this. Once you have the result you like, I don't know, let's say I like the result in here, okay, only in there, okay, I got it, I like this result, I invert the mask, so I press Control I on the mask to invert that. In this way, the effect is gone. But what can I do? Then I can go and paint with a white color the mask only where I want the effect. And as you can see, I don't care about painting outside this area because the main mask, okay, it's on the group. And so it prevents me to make mistakes, okay? So recap. First point, find the right main folder and create a subfolder with the proper name. Second point, you go and you search for the right mask and you apply the mask to the group. Third point, You go inside, you do what you want, you use adjustments, and if you need to mask an adjustment, first try to find the result you want and then invert the mask and paint only where you want. Why we invert the mask and we paint white instead of just painting black where we don't want the effect? Well, it's a kind of a safe net. It's if you invert the mask and it becomes completely black, you are sure that the effect is nowhere visible, and it will be visible only where you paint white. Otherwise, you can forget some areas. Maybe if you forget to paint them black. So this is the way, and you will see during this course we are going to we are going to do this three-step workflow a lot of times, and as I told every time to all the students, if you know how to make a mask, if you know how to select an object, then 50% of the work is done, because you can place the mask on the main group, and so you can forget about it and work inside and do whatever you want.